Today for Lesson 8 in Module 1, we're going to practice taking 10 from within 100. Last week when we were doing this, we were doing taking 10, but we do it only up to numbers up to 20. This week we're going to expand up to 100. Just a review of some of the things we talked about last week. We were working on making groups of 10 and taking them out to help simplify problems. So for example, from last week, from Lesson 6 and 7, we were doing problems like this, where we would say 30 minus 7 equals. Now, I know I could do mental math for that, but the goal of our lesson is to be able to make a group of 10 to simplify or chunk our problem. So if I make 30 minus 10 as a number bond, the number that I would have left in my number bond is 20. So I would take my group of 10, because I'm working with groups of 10, and I'd subtract 7. That would be my second step. I've made my number bond, and then I did my subtraction. So 10 minus 7 equals 3. That's step 2. Step 3 from last week, we would take the remaining number from the number bond, that 20, and we would add it to this answer up above, to the 3. So 20 plus 3 is 23. Same as if I were to say 30 minus 7, same answer, just chunking it and using groups of 10 to solve my problem. Okay. This week, we're going to continue with that mentality. And we're going to continue practicing, but this week, again, we're going to go up to some number of 100. So let's practice a couple. If I were to start with the number 13, and I would take away 8, right? I'm going to start by making my group of 10, and then I'd have left over, if I had 13, I took away 10, I'd have 3. Step 2, I take my 10 minus 8. Because I'm making that group of 10 to chunk my problem together. 10 minus 8 is 2. And I would add it to the 3 from the number bond. So 3 plus 2 is 5. So I made my group of 10 to chunk it together, and then was adding the number bond number plus my answer. Let's take that same thought. Instead of 13, let's do 23. So our number's getting a little bit bigger, but it's the same concept. So I'd have 23, and I make it into a group of 10, and then left over 23 minus 10, I have 13. Step 1, make your number bond with a group of 10. Step 2, subtract your group of 10 minus whatever it's asking you to minus. Oh, 10 minus 8, 10 minus 8, we know is 2. Take that 2 and add it to the number that's left in your number bond. So 13 plus 2 equals 15. Oh, I see a pattern. 5, 15, 13, 23. I just noticed a group of 10s is different. Let's try another one following that pattern. What if I did now 43 minus 8? So if I have 43, again, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make that number bond. Make that group of 10. If I have 43, I took out 10, I'd have 33 left. Step 2 is I'm going to subtract that 10 minus the number, and it's asking me to subtract, so 10 minus 8 again. 2, 2, 2, same thing. Now I'm going to take my number in the number bond, 33, and I'm going to add on the 2 from above, and I get 35. So we're subtracting using that group of 10, because as we get the numbers bigger, we want to be able to chunk those groups of 10 to help us solve something deeper, harder. Okay, so take a minute and look at these problems. And let's try one more, and this time I'm going to go a little slower, and I want you to do it along in your head with me. So if I start with the problem 15 minus 7, think of what the first step is. Hopefully you thought the first step is to divide into a number bond with a group of 10. If I take out 10 from 15, I have 5 left. Think of what step 2 is. Take that 10 minus 7 equals 3. Step 3, take the number from the number bond and add it to your answer from up above where you chunk that group of 10, and you get your answer. So 15 minus 7 is 8. Okay. All right, the next problem I'm going to give you, take out a piece of paper, take out your whiteboard. I'm going to write it down, and I'm going to give you some time to solve it, and then let's check it together. So 64 minus 9. Go ahead and write down your paper. And take a minute to solve the problem using the take 10 method. Let me give you some time to think about it. Think. Step 1. Did you take out the group of 10? If I take out 10, I have 54 left. Did you subtract 10 minus 9? And get 1. Did you take 54? Add on that 1 to solve your problem. 64 minus 9 is 55. So again, our goal for today is using that take 10 strategy, taking 10 out of the number, to chunk it to make it into a simpler problem. Okay, now it's your time to practice. Let's see some problems.